Good morning, everyone. We are now live on YouTube and Facebook. Today is July 2, 2026, and welcome to the PB conference of the following projects. We have five infrastructure projects and one procurement of goods. So, first, we have 26 FB 0016. It's construction of building of the Provincial Environment and Natural Resources Office building at Legazpi City. And secondly, we have 26 FB 0017 multi-purpose building at Camalig, Albay. And also the third one is 26 FB 0018, another building which is the DPWH Albay Second District Engineering Office. Uh, Completion of the DPW's office building. And the fourth infra is 26 FB 0019, another completion of the DPW's of the second district engineering office at Namantao, Daraga. And next is construction of Batan Island Circumferential Road under our Convergence and Special Support Program of the TRIP or Tourism Road Infrastructure Program at Batan, Rapu. And the last infra project, we have 26 NB 0020 under also of the Convergence and Special Support Program. Uh, Construction of paved access road, including drainage system along Barangay Talahib, Daraga, Albay. And we have also one for the procurement of goods, which is procurement of fuel, gasoline, and lubricant products to be used in service vehicles, heavy equipment, and other maintenance materials pursuant to DPPB Resolution Number 5 2018. So, before we proceed further, I would like to request our Deputy Secretary to read our attendance and determine if we have a quorum.
Morning. The following are present. Engineer Leonardo Gonzalez, back chairperson. First Lady Maria Casina Adincola, back vice chairperson. Engineer Agnes Parma, back regular member. Engineer Christina Marigeti, back provisional member. Mr. Wilson Memoria, back provisional member. Mr. Richard Jesus, back provisional member. Engineer Rodolfo Magtango Jr., back provisional member. We also have from the back secretariat, Engineer Maria Camilo, the head, back secretariat, Engineer Francis Ryan Candeja, back secretariat member. From the DWG, we have Engineer R. Imperial, member of the DWG. And we have Mr. Work from the planning design section, representatives, Engineer Muhammad Hafiz Amatara, Engineer James Versosa, and Engineer Javier Paa. We also have one uh, representative from the members that we there. Miss Joanna Marie Italia from RLH Construction and Supply, and also Mr. CJ Mako from RLH Construction and Supply. So I believe have a problem.
So, as the chairman, we have a quorum for today's private conference. So, I now hold this private conference in order. We will now immediately proceed to 26 FB 01. We will discuss first the procurement of goods under 26 GF B001, procurement of fuel, gasoline, and lubricant products to be used in service vehicles and equipment and other maintenance materials pursuant to DPWH Resolution Number 5, 2018, with a budget of 8,944,779 pesos. Project location, DPWH Albay second DEO, and delivery period 365 calendar days. So we would like to request our supply officer to explain in details regarding this procurement. Okay.
Morning. This project includes cooking oil, brake fluid, diesel fuel well, engine oil, and then gasoline, filter, gear oil, motor oil, oil filter, air cabin filter, air filter, coolant, clean gasoline, LPG, brake cleaner, oil filter, air filter, and instead of contract agreement, we will be using framework agreement instead of contract.
Okay. Can you explain the details between the two for the benefit of our viewer and our server?
Obligation to answer call off in the framework agreement.
So, is there any question, clarification from the body? What will be the schedule of this dropping?
Dropping off is on July 14, 2026.
Okay, so to our interested bidder, please be mindful of the deadline and date of dropping. So, any more questions? Clarifications? So, being none, we can now proceed with our previous meeting for the 5 FINPA projects. So, the purpose of this previous conference is for us to determine and to clarify to our prospective bidders regarding the plans, specifications, the bill of quantities, and the requirements, contract conditions, and other requirements. And also to explain to our will-be bidders the scope of work and the locations, and discuss the conditions of the site in order to give them more visualization and include that in their estimates. So for the first project, 26 FB0016, with contract name Convergence and Special Support Program under our SIPAG program, construction of Provincial Environment and Natural Resources Office Building. So we have with us today the presence of the planning and design section personnel to discuss in details the scope of work, the requirements of the project, to give our prospective bidders clear understanding of the project. Okay.
Here is the perspective, and the project ID is 26 FB0016, project title, Convergence and Special Support Program, Sustainable Infrastructure Projects, Alleviating Gaps, SIPAG, Major Strategic Public Buildings, Facilities, Construction of PENRO Albay, Provincial Environment and Natural Resources, Office Building, Lot Number 9883, Legazpi City. The scope of work: construction of PENRO Albay Office Building, 80 meters by 12.6 meters. Works include earthworks, structural, architectural, plumbing, electrical, and mechanical. Approved budget for the contract, 19,598,915 pesos and 37 centavos. Project location, Legazpi City, Albay. Project duration 180 calendar days. And the following are the minimum equipment requirement for the project: backhoe with breaker, backhoe, dump truck, plate compactor, one bagger mixer, water truck or pump, battery cut, bar cutter, bar bender, welding machine, cutting outfit, concrete vibrator, drilling rig, mechanical rotary, truck mounted crane, and welding machine.
Uh, is that, si Emil, ay, sir, ayos pa, ano po yun po? Wala pa po man ko. Naghihintay sa tingnan ko sa Outlook ko kami, communication. Waiting lang pa ako, ma'am.
So sa ano ma'am, so sa phase 1 lang po, ito lang sa first floor lang po.
Ako nga po.
Kaya sa Panginoon.
Yeah, sa first floor
Salamat
lang
po
po.
ka, Sisi. Thank you po. Sige. Thank you po, Sisi. Thank you po, ma'am.
Ground floor.
Yes po.
Complete video siya.
Yes po. With, ano na siya. Pero ano lang siya ma'am, kabanga lang po siya. First floor po. Na ang size niya po kasi is 30 by 12.6, pero ang nakayo lang ng budget is 18 meters square.
18, tapos ground floor lang.
Yes po.
Phase 1.
Basis.
Oh, you should have put there phase 1 kasi construction, walang ano.
Kasi pag napanayari ng perspective, gusto sabihin ng story lang.
Kasi construction scope for construction.
Siguro pinakatalapot sa
Dapat phase 1 lang. Ilagay ko phase 1.
perspective kasi pinakatalapot.
So, under the scope of work, nakita ko, no painting, allocated, no painting ba yan ang first floor?
Yes po.
Walang
Ground floor? What is the total kasi ng estimation ng ano?
Yan, 19.
No, ang total, fitted ang building. Lahat yan, bakit mo lang? Sino ba nagbigay ng design? Ano? Tapos,
Sa PENRO po.
PENRO.
Kasi yung budget na po.
Bakit nagbigay tayo? Tayo nagawa ng plano tapos first floor lang ang nirequest natin for funding. Ano nangyari?
Nakarequest naman po yun for phase
Ito, nakakumpulan ba? Nakapansin na, nakatermina. Pagkaanak ang kita, nakapansin na. Yan lang talaga. Naitindihan ang plano.
Opo, pa-ailing mo po yun sa inyo bago.
sa floor plan kasi nakita nga naman po.
Nakahads na lang.
Lahat.
Pag perspective kaya, iba yun po na
Kasi ito sa ano natin, hindi budget process natin, bilang tayo na sa RDC, di ba? Pinapa-approve natin. So bakit pinapa-approve tayo ng ano lang, first floor lang, kung ang plano ay 4 story. Bakit hindi yung hihingi yung buo?
Minsan sir, pag nangyari po kayo, ang nabababa lang kapag yan lang po na ano.
It's either hindi ka budgetan yung pinopose mo na di buo. Hindi sila magbibigay ng kalahati ng building na kasi dapat pinopose mo yung buong amount ng building. Bakit approval lang? 1 floor lang yung budget natin.
Yun lang siya kapag
Yes po. Yung sa budget.
Ang tanong ko, sino bang nagbigay ng ano? Sino ba nagbigay ng plano? Sino nagbigay ng plano? Tayo o ang BNR?
Tayo.
Oo. Tayo. Tapos meron tayo select.
Yes po.
Oh, hindi ba yung sinusubmit natin yung sa
sila
ano?
sabi natin yan sir, pero please and kaya sir, ang nagpapaba, yung din sumigot na natin. Mas kung ano lang sir, ang nagpapaba. Yun lang sir, ang i-accommodate na. Kaya gibo to sir, by the next listing, prioritize na po siya.
Magkano yung binigay niya sa RDC as submitted to RDC? Bilang amount, sino nagbigay na? Yung submit sa RDC, yung as submitted natin, as submitted sa net, ano ba? Tingnan nyo na kung magkano na submit sa net 2026. Hindi nyo alam magkano na, hindi nyo alam ba yung gumawa. Pag hindi nyo alam,
po kayo sa
gusto ko makita kung na ano yan, kung halimbawa 60 million yung sinubmit nyo, tapos yung mga 10 million lang. Magkano ba ang ano para makita natin how much is the total cost of that building, yung buong talaga. Sa HR sa building. Siya sa building yung tulad dito.
Seminar.
So, sino bang under ng building niyo? Ikaw, James.
Siya, yun, the electrical, and the telephone.
Tapos gagawa tayo ng kalahati ng pupuntuan. Siyempre ako, kaya ang understanding ko na ano sila, gagawa tayo ng buong estimates niyan. Submit natin for approval sa RDC. Isusubmit ng RDC, nakakasama sa net natin under the Convergence program, bigyan natin pagdating dito kung magkano ang darating. Usually, it's either wala or the whole amount ng RDC, hindi naman mabawasan sa building yan. Kasi mag-estimate tayo for funding and submission sa RDC and inclusion sa net natin, yung the whole cost ng building na yan. So, ano kayo said,
Verify nila.
Oo.
Sa 2026.
kasi bakit one floor lang ang gagawin natin, ano? Yung first floor na bang usage ng first floor?
yung ano po sir, naka-close na din po siya sir.
So,
Ano din po siya sa
after completion ng phase 1 na yan, pwede na magamit, hindi pa.
Pwede na po sir. Ito sa baba lang po sir.
Kaya
Yung iba
pwede
na.
na, pwede na.
Pwede na po.
Pero walang painting, walang lahat.
Yung painting lang.
Meron na kasama sa budget ng mga partitioning.
Ay, yung partitioning ba?
Ano, yung fixed partitions, kasama na ba dyan?
Yung ano
fixed
sir, yung,
walls.
yes sir, yung exterior at interior po. Mga fixtures,
Microbytes.
meron po.
Kasi, kinount ko, bali, more than 80,000 per square meter.
May estimates na kayo, how much is the cost ng micropipe? Wala. Ayan. I-less nga natin yung micropipe din. Amount. Magkano yung more or less? Ilang percent ba yung micropipe sa cost ng 18 by 12.6. 18 nila yung 18, ano yan? 12.6. 2 to 6 times 740,000 per square meter. Dapat 9 million lang. No? So, ibig sabihin mga 10 million ang micropipe. Hindi nga magkakasip mo na design yan. So next time, I think yung design na ano yan, dapat nandito. No? Kasi, kung magtatanong, alam mo, supposed to be kung ako the prospective, bidder. So, tanong, paano masasagot natin? The right person to answer the questions raised by the contractors is yung from the design section. And under the unit na nag-prepare ng program and plans. In this particular project, since it's a building, dapat yung building unit na nandito, at least a representative from the building unit. Ano? Para next time, baka may magagano tayo, tayo sa online. May mag-question, mag-aanap ng clarification, dapat may makasagot. So, okay, next time, sabi na lang kay sa mga unit heads, Okay, next. wala na no further questions sa project na yon. So kung wala na, we proceed with the next project, 26FB0017, also under our Convergence and Special Support Program under BIP, or the Basic Infrastructure Program, construction of multipurpose building, which is the Camalig Market Site, Phase 2, amounting to 19,798,891.73 pesos, and contract duration of 210 calendar days. Again, as to the scope of work, specs, special requirements of the project, we would like to request representatives from the planning science section to discuss in details the requirements of this project.
Here is the perspective, and project ID is 26FB0017. Project title, Convergence and Special Support Program, Basic Infrastructure Program, BIP, Multi-Purpose Buildings, Facilities to Support Social Services, Construction, Completion of Multi-Purpose Building, Camalig Market Site, Phase 2, Camalig Albay. The coordinates 13.187201 degrees latitude and 123.659146 longitude. The scope of work, extension of third level to roof deck with dimensions of 42 meters by 32.5 meters. It includes earthworks, reinforced concrete works, electrical works, finishing, and other civil works. Approved budget for the contract, 19,798,891 pesos and 73 centavos. Project duration, Camalig Albay. Project duration, 200 days, calendar days. And this is the following minimum equipment requirements for the project: dump truck, concrete vibrator, jackhammer, one bagger mixer, bar cutter, bar bender, welding machine, cutting outfit, water truck pump.
Okay, any questions from anybody?
Table champagne, ulit.
Okay, Mike, I have a question. Sa scope of work niyo, since I think it is just an extension of the, the second floor, talaga ng third floor, roof deck, di ba? So bakit meron kayong anong earthwork? Saan yan?
Yung
Saan yan?
earthwork sa baba, may mga tatanggalin doon, removal of existing structures sa baba.
I think, di ba, the structure is already existing. Improvement na lang ng structure na yan. We had to construct additional floor, third floor, and ang ngayon natin roof deck. So I think ang concentration of work will be on the second floor. So why is there a need for earthworks? And at the same time, the requirements mo ng equipment requirements, wala namang nakalagay ito na okay nga, naka-blast na nga. So we don't have any requirement for
Removal of
ng ng excavation equipment. Dump truck lang nakalagay, wala naman. So why nilagay nyo yung scope of work na earthworks?
Yung po kasi
Display.
yung po kasi yung sa earthwork, under kasi po doon yung sa removal of structures nandun po sa ilang. Yung sa removal of structures, sir, sa actual site daw po merong formworks na tatanggalin. Kaya wala.
Improper yung inappropriate yung scope of work no, hindi yung earthworks.
Yung kasi sabi yung sa
Mali, ayusin niya kasi hindi inappropriate yung scope of work na earthwork. So, di ba? Removal ang mga debris, yung mga scaffolding, hindi yun.
andun po siya sa mga earthworks.
Yung
Sa removal.
removal?
Yes, ma'am. Removal of structures.
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
Ang earthwork sa San Supa po.
Wala naman sa earthworks. Pag sinabi yung earthworks, may test ka rin kaya nga kailangan ng test ka na pili, pakireview mo nga ano po ang pili mo? Pakireview mo nga, i-ano nga ako na report to me kung nasaan ma. Parang baka updated na ako, hindi ko na alam ang earthworks.
Yung item.
After this, kaya mo ako sa, i-price mo ako doon sa opisina ko. Yung tamang, ito included ang removal ng mga scaffoldings and the earthworks yan. Pag hindi, pag-explain ka in detail sa akin, ha? Reading explanation. Kamali lang ako na kami mga bagong palis, bagong lubog, pang kasi hindi na ako nagbabasa, kaya gusto ko maano mo. Anong reference niyo? Lubog?
Sa pay items, yung bagong bills po sa 2020.
Sa lubog dapat. Kasi pag
Opo, yun.
kapag may test kami, may corresponding test na ship analysis, may corresponding test na under the soils. May test dapat. Pag earthworks, either excavation or
Tapos yung structural complex mo, okay rin na. Bakit yung isa na rin? Kasi nasa country. Okay, mission na siya. Nasa country.
nakalagay doon phase 2 sa scope of work, okay, phase 2 or completion naman.
Extension.
Completion? Completion na. So once namin mo completion, yung first floor and second floor, ay ganyan na existing, So ibig sabihin, ganyan na yan, yung painting niya, yung architectural finish niya, gano'n na rin. Kasama na yan sa completion. Kasi kung mag-i-estimate ako dyan, isama ko yan. Kasi kung baka
Isa rin ang painting dyan.
Oo.
Ayun yung maganda. Ayun.
Sige, okay. Any more question? Okay. No more? Kung wala na, okay, let's proceed to the third project. We have 26 FB 6018 under our locally funded projects under National Building Program. This is completion of our new DPWH Albay 2nd District Engineering Office at Namantao, Daraga, Albay. So again, we'd like to request the planning and design personnel to explain to us in detail the scope of this work, the plans, the specifications, and other requirements of this particular project.
Here is the perspective of the project. And the project ID is 26FB0018. Project title, Locally Funded Projects, National Building Program, Buildings and Other Structures, Multi-Purpose Facilities, Construction, Completion of New DPWH Albay 2nd District Engineering Office, DEO, Building, Namantao, Daraga, Albay. Scope of work, construction, completion of new DPWH Albay 2nd District Engineering Office, DEO building. It includes electrical works and mechanical works. Approved budget for the contract, 37,417,293 pesos and 90 centavos. Project location, Barangay Namantao, Daraga, Albay. Project duration, 150 calendar days. And the minimum equipment requirements, truck-mounted crane, standard lattice boom, and minor tools.
Okay, thank you. Any questions from the body? So as explained under the scope of work, this only includes the electrical provisions and mechanical provisions for this building. This is already completed. The building itself was already completed under our previous funding. So as of now, that building has no electrical connections yet. That's why this particular project is for the completion and provision of the electrical works and mechanical works like air conditioning. So that's po ang scope of work. And also the transmission lines starting I think from the Martica Highway and up to the the building. So any question from our observer from the body? So being done, we now proceed to our next, I think last project under our Convergence and Special Support Program, contract ID 26FB 0020, it is in construction of paved access road including drainage system along Barangay Talayan, Daraga, Albay, with ABC amount of 29,104,425.1 pesos, with contract duration of ay, 19, meron pa tayo. Pwede maligpas mo na ito, 20, 20, 140 calendar days.
So for this project, the scope of work is 0.656 lane kilometer of road concretely and 695 lane meters of type 1 line canal. It has a approved budget for the contract of 29,104,435 and 80 cents. And it is located in Barangay Talahi, Daraga, Albay, with project duration of 140 calendar days. So this is the minimum equipment requirement. We have dump truck, loader, bulldozer, motorized road grader with preparatory roller, water truck, bagger mixer, backhoe, wheel type, transit mixer, concrete vibrator, concrete batch plant, concrete seeder, and backhoe. So this is the location of the project. So as you can see, this is continuation of the project in Talahib. So we start with station 1, 640 until 2 plus 296. So this is the straight line diagram of the project. So we have the PCCP, we have type 1 canals, and some project of works would be only involved cover for existing type 1 line canal. And this is the typical section of the road. So we have carriageway, we have shoulders on both sides, and curb and gutter and type 1 canals on both sides also. That will be all.
Yeah, what is the thickness of the pavement there?
Point
With 8?
20.
Do we have base course condition?
Yes, po, sir.
What is the thickness na base course na?
0.25 po, sir. We are using the polymer stabilized roller mixer sa base course 2061.
0.20 thickness na. Anong item designation ng base course?
2061.
206. Polymer reinforced, ano ba yan? Base course? So any questions from anybody? From our viewer, from our observers? Kung wala, we can now proceed with our last project, 26FB0019 Convergence Special Support Program under our DRIP or Tourism Road Infrastructure Program. Construction of Batan Island Circumferential Road, Station 0 plus 979, with Station 1 plus 379 with ABC amount of 35,488,382.93 and contract duration of 154 calendar days. So again, we would like to request the personnel from PDS to explain the details of this project.
So for this project, the scope of work would be construction of, that would be type work. It should be 0.800 lane kilometer of road and construction of drainage structure. It is located in Namantao, Albay, and has project duration of 154 calendar days. The minimum equipment required are backhoe, dump truck, motorized road grader, vibratory roller, water truck, backhoe with paving breaker, payloader, transit mixer, concrete vibrator, concrete match plant, concrete splitter, and one battery mixer. So this is the location and vicinity map of the project. So this is actually a gap between two projects, existing and ongoing projects. So it starts with station 0979 until 1379. So this is the straight line diagram. So as you can see, it is composed of CCP and 266 lane kilometers of type 1 canal, and then we have also one barrel, 1.25 by 1 RCPC. So this is the typical roadway section. So it has 6.7 main carriageway, and then we have 2.65 shoulders at both sides, and type 1 line canal at both sides. And this is the typical roadway section with RCPC.
Any question from the body, from our viewer, from our server? So, okay. Being none, so this concludes the previous conference for this particular projects. And we now for this meeting adjourned. Thank you very much, everyone, and good day to all.